Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video of Ethelor Plays Go. Today I'm on OGS. Today's a double special, although I don't think I'll release both videos today. It's a double recording for me, so yeah, OGS is the server that I have the most trouble with, so I'm a bit nervous, but, nothing to do about ladder anxiety, but just playing again another game. So I'll get one set up, and we'll see you all in a second. All right, so we found a game. Once again, we'll start relatively normally. Nothing too fancy. So yeah, I'm always looking at this kick and extension, but I never play because I never have the confidence to actually do it. So let's, I don't know. I'm sure, yeah, viewers would say, do it, do it. But yeah, I'm just gonna be too normal. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore this because I don't know. I think it's a little bit slow. It's a legitimate move, but I just don't like responding to it. So Tanuki, no way. And then here, I'll just go into the normal attachment variation. So interesting. Okay. Normally players don't have enough confidence to play this move, the Ko, but I'm gonna play it, baby. So yeah, and now I get a co-threat, so there's nothing else to do but to play something like this. And I'm sure black will just connect. Won't just connect. Okay, so I capture. And then I think I can just capture because, yeah, so it's as if black tried to enclose and white played Q3 and then black responded. So it's a bad exchange, but Ko is bigger in the opening. So I and then black will respond, not respond. I think black should have played here. Otherwise, yeah, otherwise there's more trouble, I think. Mm, should I respond? Actually, I think might not be a good idea. Because say I capture, then maybe white won't respond, and then I shouldn't continue. I can play out, but no. So actually, I should just Tanuki at this point. White's too solid. Um, there are probably ways I can continue. For instance, like I can clamp over here, and make use of this stone, but I don't think I should play that right away. For now, I'm just gonna play over here. So this has already been quite an exciting opening. That's cool. I'm gonna push black towards this area because this is where white is redonkulously strong. And then we can do the usual kind of pushing down. So once again, being mindful not to play at this very, very fast pace. So I'm just gonna slow it down, take some time, talk to you, the viewer, and hopefully annoy black a little bit by playing a little bit slower. I mean, maybe it'd be better just to like actually think about the move instead of just instead of spending time acting like I'm thinking. But the main idea is just to slow things down. So I have two choices. I can cut, which was this is what I would do without thinking too much, and then I can also play this wedge. But I think black, even if black can recover, there's still cuts. So actually, this wedge isn't so bad. But I think what I like about cutting here is that black naturally will want to Atari and break out here, and I think that's just nicer for white. So that's what I'm going to do. And then, once again, let's not be too hasty with any move. But yeah, I think this is like the only move. There's not much else to think about. There is this Atari here that white can play. I don't know if it's strictly necessary, but or maybe it's a thank you move. Like it feels good and isn't really so good because like Hani here is a lot more difficult. But yeah, you can see that black needs to keep pushing over here because yeah, white is just so strong here. And now this d12 move is kind of forsaken. So I can respond with f17, but it'll be easier to put pressure on black by playing k17. So I'll play, or L17, put less pressure, but then that has nicer shape over here. And that means that if black R17, then that's not Sente. Whereas if I play this one, it's a little bit more thin, so I'm going to play a little bit more solidly, put less pressure on black. So here I have two choices as well. I can kind of press black down and take the outside, or I can play this D17 move, and that's kind of more common, I think, because, I mean, you can press down, but I don't know, I think it's a bit over-concentrated. I'd rather use this thickness to attack black. So, and then I think I can look at this G18 move later. So you can imagine that G17, yeah, so it cuts the stone off. So let's just, and I can kind of keep the corner. So yeah, I should make sure not to play too quickly. Don't play too quickly. I can extend, or I can play these Hanes here. I think the Hanes make more sense. Although I worry a little bit that black plays L18. I can capture it. But yeah, black can make more shape. I guess it makes sense that black will be able to make shape here because there was a lot of space. I shouldn't try to kill black. I should just try and, you know, play decent moves. So if I Hane here, what happens if black crosscuts? I think that it's a similar kind of thing. I don't think I want to play this K18 move. I think that makes more sense if I want to keep black unsettled. But I think it'll be very easy for black to crosscut, and then, yeah, there's all sorts of possibilities here. I can respond very solidly, but I think it's a bit timid. No reason for it. So, yeah, let's just go with this Hane here. See what happens. Interesting. So that's definitely good shape for white. Because getting this Hane at the head of 2 is just generally good. I can even consider double Hane. Or counter Hane. I'm not quite sure. I'm never always sure which one's which. Black can kind of try and counter here and extend. White will play N17 and be completely safe. There's still this G17 move, but I think that if black considers F17 now, I mean, I'll come up, block here, there. Yeah, so actually probably not so much of a move anymore. I mean, now you'd want to press with F17 and then G17, but yeah. I could double Hane, but I don't think there's much in it. I might as well just walk ahead. So that's just what I'm going to do. I could double Hane, but there's just not a lot of pressure I can put on black, so I shouldn't go too wild. Generally, I think white has good territory, and then it's just a matter of figuring out what black wants to do with the influence he has. Yeah, I could try and be like, oh, and try things, but I really, as I said, like, I don't think that there's a lot here, so I think I should just take Sente as fast as I can. And so there's this move, but I don't have the ladder, so I probably shouldn't play it, and I should probably just split instead. I think that makes more sense. So I'll play here. Black can try and move the stone, but I think that white's so strong that that's not really possible. Interesting, but it's not Sente, so I'm not going to respond. But white is under a lot of pressure here, so I think that white should do something about this group. I can consider coming over here, but it's probably risky while white isn't alive yet. So I think there are moves I can play where I press black down here, but I don't think it's really a good idea now. I mean, there's also this R15 and then to Q14, kind of a usual way to play, but also doesn't seem great. So I'll just play here for now. If black cuts, then I think that there's a net here. But maybe not. So I think I need to think about how I handle that. For now, I think the ladder works for black. So here, dear. But that was Atari, I think, so. I think that there's Aji over here that I can exploit, so I should start to dig a little bit. Because black getting everything down here will be too much. Also, this shape is just generally a bit thin. So let's see how black responds to this move. If black just extends, yeah, so if this Atari, then of course I will just counter Atari. And then I should do some kind of like, I should basically just come out here. So if I just jump, I should just treat everything lightly. So I can like Kosume here or attach. But I think that just jumping out is okay. Let's see. Wedge, Atari, connect, connect, Atari, Atari, capture, and then there's a ladder. And that ladder works for black as well. I might actually be able to treat this kind of lightly, because I don't think the stone on its own is worth a lot. So you can imagine that I respond, black extends, and then it feels kind of like white needs to manage both groups. But if I just play lightly, then it might not actually be a big deal. Say black responds, then I can just make shape. But say I respond, black extends. I don't know. I think I would rather touch over here and get more solid. In any case, I'm not so worried about this. So I don't think I'll respond. And then it's just a matter of what to play instead. This extending is good for, well, not really that good for black, but black, you can imagine black responds, and then I can push and push, but maybe that gives a lot up. So let's just play here. Can't be bad. White's all connected up. Black can still go for the cuts, but I think that's more aggressive at this point. I mean, I think black can realize it now. Like, black playing R7 doesn't feel so great. It's the same thing with getting the Q. Yeah, okay. Atari. But then once again, like, I can just play a little bit lighter. Play light on my feet. Here. And then extending here, and then here, push here, and then it's not really, doesn't look so great. So at the same time though, I wonder if I can like turn here in Sente. You can imagine that if I turn and play it again here, then black would be in a little bit of trouble. So if I get this push, black extends, and then this Atari, or this ladder rather, then if I have this move, but black will have this move here. So here, this will not work. Wait. So I can't play this one. So here, Atari, here, and then black escapes the ladder. So I need to play something more like H9, I think. And then if I have H9, then that will work. So let's play that. I can always return at Q7 as well in order to make this shape stronger. Okay, and now let's go for the surround over here. See how black manages that group. Yeah, Hane. And then it's just a matter of making sure black doesn't have a second eye here, I suppose. I guess the only issue is, I mean, so lucky that white's so strong here. I can always capture here too. Yeah, that looks like it's in deep trouble. That doesn't look good. Yeah. Here. And then just capture this, I think. And now it's a matter of breaking out over here. But since black is since white's so strong, I don't think black can actually do anything. That might be game over. Yeah. So I can just extend. I think that gives strongest shape to white. Yeah. Here, okay, makes sense. But, so if they're black Ataris, I think it's just a matter of like severing this connection. Can black ever sever this connection? So I think like this one, no. This one here also no. And then white, I think, will never die. So just play over here, I suppose. I need to be careful because otherwise black might get forcing moves to live. I mean, the only thing is maybe like b7, but I don't think that helps. So let's just extend over here. And now black has to be really desperate. Really, really desperate. So we can just make shape and try and connect.
You have won.
Oh, yeah, okay, makes sense, resignation. Thank you for the game. All right, well, you know the drill. I'm gonna review the game and then I'll let you guys all know. All right, so also for this one, not many notes, but some things to learn. So up to here, so okay, immediately black can play more severely on this stone here. Playing this way, I mean, I guess it kind of like reverts to as if, let's see, I've got a better idea. What if I say, so it's as if, and now I can edit these stones away, and then remove. So it's as if white played, but it's other person to play. So it's as if this exchange had happened, which is actually a valid co-threat for white, or at least it was. I don't know if it still is, but at the very least, that's a valid co-threat. So yeah, this is something that white would want to play anyway. So if black plays here, white shouldn't play here. White should just Tanuki. Kind of realized this halfway through, so I made this exchange. It's not the worst exchange, but yeah, it didn't have to do that. So up to here, this Atari is a bit of a thank you move. So you can imagine something like this, and then white can Tanuki and play, somewhere else on the board. So not the best exchange, but it's okay. Here, white can play over here. So if black backs off, then this looks pretty nice for white. And then if black comes in, then white can play this move. Black can still connect, but let's see how to play here. Black isn't alive locally. So this is still a great result for white, especially because white makes this territory over here. It's fine. So black actually shouldn't try and connect immediately. Black should try and play over here. So if white says, oh, well, you're cut off, then black can probably that's probably just alive, right? Yeah. Just alive. So white will want to respond somehow. So say over here, then black comes back, and then white can play some this exchange and then here. So once again, black isn't alive locally, which is why white can consider a move like this. So I didn't have to play like this. There's still this vital point here for white, and it'll come later. Let me just mark it quickly. So this is the vital point. AI prefers to come underneath like this. So if, say, yeah, so it's just trying to keep black a little bit more unsettled. So this is fine. I was a bit worried about this cut, but there's a ladder, and then also this doesn't work. I mean, I guess here, but really it's fine. So here, that's not Sante, that's okay. And yeah, it's good to come over here and start messing with black because, as I said, this shape is just way too thin, and if white doesn't do anything, then black's going to get too much. White can consider just playing over here. I think the AI just thinks that black should back off, but say that he doesn't, white can make good shape here. And always, even if black comes here, I was right. I mean, you can respond, but you don't have to. So if, this feels a little bit slow for black, so even if it's probably okay to just capture that one stone. So yeah, AI actually wants to like invest some more moves before playing here. Um, I consider that as well in my own review, but yeah, that's just a minor detail. And then here, this was the game losing move. So black should play this Hane because now, say white plays here, then black can make that second die no problem. So because of this, white has to respond. This is Sente, and then black can make a second die this way. But black didn't make a second die this way, so black's in big trouble. So let's assume that black lives somehow. Then what the AI wants is to play here. So what I was thinking is, like, this is obviously what white is aiming for. So black can play like this. And then I was like, okay, well, these two stones die. Let me highlight. But there's some extra forcing moves. So there's this exchange, and here, now there's only 2 liberties left on this group here. So, if black tries to come out, then shorten liberties, therefore needs to play here. I mean, can't even Tanuki because white can play. So here, and then has to capture. So white can then get all of these stones, cutting the black stone off, and has Sente. So that's amazing. That's an amazing result for white. So this is quite a nice move that the AI found right here. So that's one to remember in the future. Even if not to actually kill anything, getting all these moves on the outside was really great. So I'm really glad that the AI was able to show that to me. And then yeah, white responded perfectly. And then I'm a little bit sad that black didn't continue to try and win the game. Because often it's as kind of what I was saying in the last game, where this kind of like trying to win from this position is good experience for both players. If you are losing, then it teaches you to be a little bit more aggressive. And also, you're allowed to play if you accept that you are probably going to lose the game. You can play without the burden of having to win the game. Whereas white has to play with the burden to win the game. And often I'm in this position where I'm ahead like this, and if black keeps playing, then I'm very likely to collapse. So black shouldn't resign. Black should keep playing, and I'm sad that he didn't because that's the kind of experience I need. Where black says, "Okay, well I'm lost, but I'm going to keep playing," and then through playing, I end up collapsing, and that's the experience that I need in order to become a stronger player. So I'm a little bit sad that white resigned here, but it's perfectly reasonable. White was ahead, but who knows? Maybe if black would have kept playing, I would have made a mistake. So anyway, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, the whole deal, and I will see you all in the next game.